Good evening, everybody, and good evening to my co-host Lee. Another 7 days have passed, and I've not done a proper introduction, but welcome back to the League 2 Hour, episode 14. And it's another bumper-packed weekly for us to get stuck into, my friend. You good?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, it's a cold one in this shed this evening. The heated seat is on. Winter is
suddenly appeared this evening.
yeah. So if I go silent halfway through the show, you know I froze to death.
It's got frostbite.
Can I just mention, I picked these up, so it's well worth a shout out. So Oldham Athletic, I've done a sticker album and stickers. Obviously road to the EFL, absolutely fantastic. I just felt like I had to give it a shout out, and obviously here's the stickers, they're all numbered. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. They've even got, I think I've even got a shiny swap. They even got shinies. Have a look at that.
That is class, to be fair.
It's brilliant.
To be fair, there's a lad called Jim who's a Gills fan. He's Gillingham Legends on social media, and he does a load of like caricature stuff. I don't know if you can see it. There's a photo up there of myself and Ava that he did, and there's another one that I got a couple of years ago. And he did a Gills sticker album a couple of years back, which I bought, and it's all like Gillingham Legends from like right back to like pre-war, right through to the modern day, and that's absolutely superb as well. And I know we've all been talking about the EFL one coming out, but that's a bit expensive, and I've had a look at the prices going around on that. That ain't cheap at all. It looks good though, to be fair. I think it's nice to see that EFL and Panini have made the effort. There's like a historical page, I think, isn't there, where it's got like people that were like brought up in the EFL, like have got on to bigger things, and like EFL legends. So it looks like it's going to be a good album. Might have to add it to the Christmas list though, and see if Santa Claus will bring it to me.
It's
21 already in the chat, which is absolutely brilliant. So appreciate that. Should we do some comments?
Yes, mate.
Let's see who's about this evening. We have got German Gills. Reese is in the chat. Brilliant to see him back in. I know he's busy most of the time, but evening, Reese. Hope you're well. David Longley says, good evening, gentlemen. Oldham fan Dom is back. Yes, evening, gents. Hope you're both well. Yeah, very well. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you asking. The view from the Medway are in, saying, evening, lads. Good evening to Chris, David, Warren, Mike, whoever else is doing their show at 8 o'clock tonight. If you are a Gills fan, go and check that out at 8 o'clock, because they do some quality content as well. Gary Myerscough, evening, lads. It's been a while. Gary, hope you're good, mate. Kerry, friend of the channel, WhatsApp chat as well, is in the chat. OAFC Woo, wonder who she supports. Troy says, good afternoon. No, he doesn't. He says, good evening. It's cold in here. Lee said that. Can't even talk properly. Evening to Troy. Nick is back in. Hope you're feeling well. Better, mate. I know you was unwell. Missed the game against Crawley and had to make do with the TV coverage. He says, good evening, lads. Look forward to this as always. An interesting and informative. Interesting and informative? Are we doing it that well?
You might be. I just waffle.
But we have fun doing it. And Kerry says that Callum finished his sticker book on Saturday. Brilliant to see again. Can't reiterate that enough. I saw Lee post it on his socials, and that's a great thing to do, and that's a proper sort of keepsake for fans young and old. And who doesn't love a sticker book? Who doesn't love a shiny? We've all been there, haven't we? Swap need and got need and all that type of thing. Anyway. We're not here to talk about sticker albums. We are here to talk about League 2 this past weekend. Dom says he's going to jump on the sticker album too. Get it done, mate. Like I say, we all love a sticker album. Lee, your first feature game this week was Accrington Stanley 3, Bristol Rovers 1. It was goals from Isaac Keefe, Farron Rawson and Isaac Sinclair for the home side, and Camille Conte in reply for Daryl Clarke's men. Talk us through this one.
Yep, 2 goals in 5 second-half minutes handed Accrington a 3-1 home win against Bristol Rovers. Pretty big game, obviously, for both sides, I feel. Obviously, Bristol Rovers under pressure, struggling, and Accrington have been down there, and obviously they've been tipped to be struggling all season. So, a massive, massive win for Accrington. Stanley opened the scoring in the 6th minute after Sean Wally's cross into the 6-yard box was struck home by Everton loanee Isaac Keefe. I believe he scored his first goal. Was it last week or the week before?
Yeah, I think he's got 2 or 3 now this season, doesn't he? He's had a good impact, So, both their Isaacs are doing well, to be fair, aren't they?
Yeah, So yeah, he opened the scoring for Accrington, and then goal mouth action. It was in short supply. After obviously, it wasn't one of them where first half it wasn't really much to talk about until Rovers come quite close on the 37th minute. Alfie Chang, seeing his deflected drive cleared off the line. And then Gas equalised on the 59th minute. A wonder goal. I'm going to try and butcher his name again. Always throw up these names, goal scorers, that always try and trick us. Kamal Conte, is that how I've done it right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It sounds about right to me. Yeah, I like him. He's a good player, but I think he's had loads of injury problems, and then I think he got an infection in his leg last season and missed most of their campaign. But
yeah,
I think he was. You might have watched him in the National League a couple of years ago. He was at Gateshead, I think. Then he went to Grimsby for half a season and then jumped into League One, and it's not really worked out because of injuries. But yeah, he's certainly a good player.
Yeah, cracking finish, 20 yards out, rifled into the bottom corner. Obviously, then 1-1, game on. But the Reds then regained the lead. 72nd minute, Heath corner wasn't cleared, and defender Farhan Rawson forced the ball. It was a scrappy goal, but yeah, a massive goal for Accrington. And then just 5 minutes later, Paddy Madden's shot was saved by Brad Young, and Isaac Sinclair stroked home the loose ball to condemn the Gas to a 6 successive league loss. Can't get my words out because I'm not cold tonight, mate. But yeah, Accrington with a massive win. They now go above Bristol Rovers. It's obviously Bristol are in free fall. After they had obviously a tricky start, then they picked up, and now results are really good. And I feel like he's really under pressure, Darryl Clarke, that is for sure. So there's some not clicking, whether it's off the pitch, or players are just not buying into what he's trying to do. I don't know. But for me, this season, it's been a disaster for Bristol Rovers to be where they are now. Quite a lot tipped them to be right up there. I know yourself. I know myself as well. After coming down, you tip them to be right up there. But yeah, they're really, really struggling. And we touched on this. Accrington, they're always one side that you always tip to struggle, but they're always proving fans wrong.
Yeah, they just keep doing enough, don't they? They get dragged towards that dreaded trapdoor, the line of just above the bottom two, and then they pick up a win. I mean, they're only 3 points off the bottom two, so it is still tight down there. Yeah, but Bristol Rovers, it's feast or famine, isn't it? All their points came in that 7-game unbeaten run when they picked up all 17 of their points. Aside from either side of that, it was 3 defeats at the start of the season without scoring and 6 on the spin since. And I thought they looked all right against us last weekend, just without a cutting edge. But Clarke has to be in danger now, doesn't he? You can't be 19th in League Two after come down, 3 points off the drop zone, and other teams down there are rolling the dice. We'll get to another team in a moment. We know Cheltenham rolled the dice and brought in Steve Cottrell, who got them going a little bit. I know they dropped back in now; they've had a couple of defeats, but it gets to the point where you have to change something, don't you? Because players are not responding clearly, or the players are just not good enough. It's one of them, and either way, it's not a good recipe, is it?
No, because you're in danger of going out of the Football League. It's vital that things are not working clearly. And if I'd have read this morning that it'd have been sacked, I wouldn't have been shocked, if I'm honest, because I know Bristol Rovers fans are expecting a hell of a lot more this season. I know, obviously, after relegation, it's always hard, but I think you'd expect them, even as a neutral, I think, to be right up there. So yeah, it's pretty poor run that they're on.
Yeah, and just looking at who they lost to. We were out of form. We hadn't won for weeks when we beat them. Accrington are down the bottom. Slapped by Crawley, slapped by Tranmere. So you say the only 2 out of that run of 6 defeats that you say are likely to happen are MK Dons and Grimsby Town. And I know they were decent against not Grimsby Town, sorry, Walsall. I know they were decent against Walsall first half and then dropped off. And since then, it's been an absolute disaster, like you say. So, yeah, I'd imagine that the grains of sand are slipping quickly through the fingers or whatever the saying is. That's not right at all. It is cold. I'll use that as an excuse as well. But
Yeah.
definitely
It's
under
weird.
pressure, Darryl Clarke.
It's weird because I rate him as a manager. I think he's I know he had a tricky spell at Barnsley, but I think he's a good manager. So it's a weird one because I thought it'd be a great appointment and just what they needed. So yeah, he's a strange one, that is for sure.
Yeah, one to keep an eye on over the next few weeks, 100%. Right, we haven't got loads of comments at the moment. So Dom says we could have the dreaded new manager bounce on Saturday. Newport sacked Hughes. Yeah, we saw that. David Hughes and Wayne Hatswell, I think his assistant manager, were relieved of their duties after defeat at the weekend, which we will get to. Yeah, so Oldham will be in the firing line. Apparently, Michael Flynn has been ruled out of contention, which I'm not sure has gone down too well amongst the Amber Army, but yeah, when we get to their game, when we do the video printer, we'll talk about that in a bit more detail. Matt GFC says home struggles continue, and then says it took me a minute to see it was the Luton Town podcast. I don't know what that bit's regarding, Matt, if you can elaborate on that. Sorry if we're being thick. But yeah, another game without a win at home. But again, we'll get to our game, but performances have not been bad at all on our own patch or in general. Gary asks if Bristol Rovers spent a little. I know there are issues, aren't there, with their owners. I don't think the fans are entirely happy with them, but I couldn't tell you what their budget was. But I think we can all agree they've got a playing squad and a manager that should be doing better than 19th in the 4th tier.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Right, let's go to my first game of the week, which was table-topping Walsall, at least at kick-off, hosting Colchester United. And it was Danny Cowley's men who came out on top in this one. Samson Tavido and Kyrie's Lisby, both goals in the first half. Yeah, Colchester, to me, looked a better side throughout. They were quicker out of blocks. I think Lisby had an early cross that missed everyone in a 6-yard box. And I think it was their left-back, Ellis Iandolo, that was arriving at the far stick, blazed it over. Probably should have done a bit better from a tight angle. But they didn't have to wait long for their first goal. Free kick not dealt with. Sort of bounces around in the box, goes out to the far side. And I think it was Harry Anderson crossed it. And yeah, Tavide doing what you want your number 9 to do. And that's on hand in the 6-yard box to tap it in from a couple of yards out. Really like their second goalie. Arthur Reed does brilliant in the halfway line, sort of in the left-hand side. Skips around a couple, then gets Tavide on his bike down the left. And we've said before, they've got loads of pace in their side. Colchester, like they've been inconsistent, but if you look at like Anderson, Lisby, and Bick, who didn't play in this game or didn't start, Tavide, they've all got wheels. They all get moving when they need to. Yeah, and he does brilliantly. And Lisby's got a tap in, decides to smash the hell out of it, nearly breaks the net off. But yeah, 2-0. After that, they were comfortable. There was a couple of bits I thought that Walsall tried to create at the end, a couple of blocks. I think Matt Macy sort of beat one away at his near post, but it all felt very too little, too late from Walsall. And, you know, we talk about the same thing with Matt Sadler's men, but I don't think it's an issue. I've written down this game absolutely sums up League Two this season. Like, we look at it, I do previews for my channel, like for Gills' game specifically. And I look at form and I think, yeah, you fancy them. Goes absolutely out the window. Like, there's so many results every week where you think that shouldn't happen, but it keeps happening. But we don't learn. We keep going. That shouldn't happen. At what point, as a group of fans who love League Two, do we just sort of disregard form and just go, I ain't got a clue who's going to win where each week, because it's absolutely nuts, and that's why we love it. Yeah,
I think we spoke about it last week, didn't we? Just results. I think this week was some mad results. I mean, Harrogate going to Notts County and getting a point. It just throws up mad results that you just don't expect, and that is the beauty of it. No game is a gimme. Obviously, managerial changes are going to take place, and that's going to affect things. But yeah, it's such an interesting league. I think teams at the bottom have started to pick up results as well, so that's making it interesting. And then you've got the top of the table that's already taking shape, but you know it's going to be right. For me, I can already call it now. I think it's going to go to the last day in terms of that top three and the playoffs. I really do. I think teams are just going to take points off each other and it's going to go right to the wire.
Yeah, I totally agree. You look at Gills, they won 6 of their first 9. We've won 1 of our next 7, and yet we're still only 4 points off the summit. It's absolutely mental. And we were sitting here a few weeks ago, and I was sort of not moaning, but saying that the Cheltenham draw was a poor result. But that suddenly looks like a really good draw now. That could be huge come the end of the season. Like you say, it's absolutely nuts. Top of the table, 1st to 12th, is separated by 7 points. It's absolutely crazy. And if you look at the bottom, which we'll do in more detail later, yeah, I know Newport are starting to not get cut adrift, but there's 3 points between them and Cheltenham. But between Cheltenham in 23rd and Oldham in 15th, there's 6 points. So 2 wins, and you're almost in the top half. It's absolutely mental. View from the Medway have made a comment as well. Yeah, Harrogate not only went to Notts County, they went to Notts County with 3 substitutes. One was a goalkeeper, one was a striker, and I think one was a kid that they've recalled from a loan. They had injury problems, suspensions, international call-ups. And I said to Neil in our WhatsApp chat, didn't I? I said, you'll go there and win 1-0. And I was about 20 seconds from being correct because it was only a very late penalty that stopped Harrogate from picking up a really huge win in that one. Right, we've got more comments. Nick says, sorry, must still have a temperature, giving you a complimentary comment. That's it, mate. Be back to normal next week. Abuse only on this show, as long as it's friendly. We like it. 25 watching at the moment still, which is really good. Keep them comments coming. If you can, hit like, subscribe, and share the show on social media. Obviously, go and subscribe to Lee's channel as well, because he's the best at what he does. I'm not going to keep saying it because it
made one get out of the shed. It's big enough as it is.
It's cold. You don't want to stay there. It's freezing. Your second feature game, mate, was Grimsby Town 0, Chesterfield 1. Harvey Rogers' own goal on 71 minutes won it for the Spireites. There was also a red card for the Mariners, Christy Pym, who it's fair to say has not had a great couple of weeks.
He's had a stinking couple of weeks, hasn't he? Yeah, obviously, top of the table clash, 2 teams that you're expecting to be right up there. Chesterfield took advantage of an early second half, a red card. Chesterfield keeper Zach Emin was first to be tested, doing well to stop Cabella's first half effort just outside the 6-yard box. Chances few and far between, I think, in this one. It was just one of them games where obviously 2 teams that are right up there and obviously cancelling each other out, and then the red card, I think, changes it.
5 shots on target in the whole game. You're right. Yeah, not going on.
Yeah, not a lot to write about. Obviously, then the game changer, Pym seeing red card. For me, it's a red card, and it's one of them where the keeper he's either got to stay on his line or he's got to commit to come and get it. I think the defender puts him at risk at obviously getting that red card. He's just not there in time. If it was
Sunday League and I was the goalkeeper, I'm asking my left back to at least pay half the fine because he's absolutely sold him down the river.
He sold him a stinker, hasn't he? He had no complaints about the decision. Obviously, as soon as he's brought the man down, you know it's going to be a red card. And then the visitors made their advantage count on a 72nd minute. Mark Andy, great run, low cross, but it was turned into his own net by Rogers. 1-0 Chesterfield, and massive win for Chesterfield. I think you've got a start at Chesterfield have not won since, was it August? Or what did you say?
August the 23rd, I believe, if I've done my research correctly, was the last time that the Spireites won on the road. And we did say a few weeks ago it was causing them a problem. Yeah. I think last week we put them in a poll that was saying they were the most underachieving. And again, this shows the bonkers nature because they win an away game now. They're back in the playoffs. It looks like they're having a great season. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that's it. You couple of wins or one win, you're back in the mix. And I think as a football fan, it's easy to get frustrated if you get beat or drop points that you expect to obviously win games. And it's easy to turn around in this league. You look at the table, it's absolutely mad. But like you said, Chesterfield now 6th, Grimsby 10th, whereas Grimsby were flying high sitting in them automatics, and now it's looking a little bit different for them. I don't think
1 win in 6 for them.
Yeah,
and that was against 9-man Gillingham.
Yeah,
and it was interesting to see Grimsby fans moaning about the man in the middle this weekend. Not to fan them Flames too much; it is all good natured, but. We basically got told to shush when we complained about a referee up there in the middle of October, who wanted to be centre of attention. So it does come round and bite us all on the arse, unfortunately. But yeah, there's probably a whole hour we could do about the standard of officiating in League Two.
Yeah, I don't think David Artell's worried. Obviously, I listened to his interview, the little snippet they showed him. I think they're playing the right football, and he said, as long as that happens, results will come. And he's true, that does come. You're going to have spells in this division where you go on 2 or 3 winless games, and then it can turn where you go on 3 or 4 winning little streaks. So your season can turn just like that. I'm not worried about Grimsby. I still think they'll be right in that mix. That's for sure, to be talked about in the playoffs.
One interesting one for me, and I don't know if there's any Grimsby fans in the chat. We do have a couple normally, but they might not be here tonight. Played 2 up top, which I found a bit strange. If the app that I use is doing me correct, played Rose and Cabia as a 2, and then played Vernham as a 10. And I thought Vernham's been probably one of the best players this season in the league, but playing off the left-hand side. So I don't know whether there was injuries or suspensions, which meant they had to have a fiddle around with the team. But you're hoping it's not a case of Artell just trying to get enough attacking players in to score goals, because they've been great, haven't they, on the whole?
Yeah.
And like we've said, 1 win and they're back on level on points with MK Dons, who are currently in the automatic. So it's not by any means a crisis just yet, 1 win in 6, but they want to get back on the winning horse sooner rather than later, don't they?
Yeah, 100%. I think they've dropped silly points as well. You look at that Barrow one. Obviously, keepers cost them. I think that's what's not helped with some results that they have chucked away. But yeah, it's. I'm not worried about Grimsby. I think they'll be fine. I think they've got a good team and a cracking manager that I absolutely really rate, especially for this division.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's one of the certainly ones that you'd put in sort of that top 6 bracket in terms of best managers in League Two. In regards to Matt's comment, he says we need to watch the A Team on Legend. Oh, I loved the A Team as a kid. I'm not going to do an impression. No one needs to see that. We want the viewers to go up, not down.
Yeah.
View from the Medway says Kettle was great, wasn't he? Best I've seen around this season. Best in a long time, mate. Darren Leverett's put evening Miss Boozy. I don't know if that's... If he knows something I don't. We'll move on. He then goes on to say 2 things. Does this season make January transfer window more important now? Intriguing level table, and you're going to get a potential Donny where 18th to 20th could go on a run and take them into the playoffs. It's a good question. We've said before, haven't we? Like anyone that's sort of within a couple of wins of the top 7 or the top 3 is going to, have a little dabble, speculate to accumulate, and all that type of thing. In the January window to try and push themselves on to the next level, whatever that needs to be. But yeah, it's interesting whether it's more important than normal. I guess it is, because there's so many teams that feel they can get into the top 3. We've mentioned before the season when you had Wrexham and Stockport, Mansfield to a degree as well. They were probably the 3 biggest budgets in the division that season, and they all rightfully went up. And then, like Bradford are a massive club in this division there last year, probably too big for League Two. I know everyone has jokes with them about their attendance police and all that type of thing, but they are bigger than League Two. I don't mean that with any disrespect to any other club at the level. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what does get spent by clubs in January. And Mr. Leverett has corrected himself and said Mr. Boozy. Thank you, sir.
Thank God.
He gives it away. It's a real one, I promise. Look. Right, my second feature game of the weekend was our game, live on the box. And before I get into the whys and wherefores, what thoroughly entertaining game of football. That was a brilliant advert for League Two. And we do have to mention that after our little rant on the League Two hour a few weeks ago and my pinned post on social media platforms, ITV did have a highlight show for League One and League Two. So, high five and Mexican wave to all of the lower league fans that shared that and retweeted it and done all that. I'm pretty sure they didn't listen to my post, but it was great to see. A light being shone on League One and Two by ITV, and they got it right this week, and so we give them credit for listening and making the effort.
Yeah, and I like that they put the League Two as the first segment of the show as well.
It was a full quota, yeah.
Yeah, obviously because it were a full fixture. Obviously, League One was I think half of fixtures, but yeah, it was nice. I do think they've listened to you, to be honest, mate.
I don't care if it's me, if it's someone else, if we've all done a little bit and had a little bit of an impact. All we want is League One and League Two getting the coverage that both divisions deserve, because there is football outside of the Premier League and the Championship, and we've said that plenty of times, and there's some good games down there, and that's what Gills v Crawley was. It was two teams that from whistle to whistle just went, we're going to have a go, we're going to try and win the football match. It was probably more open than, dare I say, Gareth Ainsworth would have liked, because we know he likes his teams to be set up and be solid, and we've generally been solid this season. I think we've still got the third best defensive record in the entire league. But yeah, we have conceded twice in each of our last two home games, so we need to sort that out quickly. First chance of the game went to Josh Flint, and it came from a Gills corner, ironically. Nelson Kambeni had a poor touch on the edge of the box, and they broke on us 3 for 2. Flint's effort, luckily from our point of view, was saved by, I think, the chin or the jaw of Jake Turner, but he did what you wanted your keeper to do, and that was stood up big and took one for the team, hit him in the face and went out for a corner. And then hit the post, really good ball into the box. Geraldo Badrami glancing header, literally hit the base of the post and bounced up into the arms of Jake Turner. So again, stroke of luck from our point of view. They struck it a second time later on. It might have been Louis Flower had a drive that hit Andy Smith and cannoned off the bar. At the other end, we had a header from Sam Gale that went over. Max Clarke drove one over from about 25 yards. Hutton and Kambeni forced Joseph Woolacott into a couple of good saves. And then the opening goal is really, really good. And again, if Bradley Dack scores that in the Championship for Blackburn, which he was doing for 4 seasons before the injuries, or 3 seasons, that gets shown over and over again on Sky Sports. And I'm glad it got the coverage, because it's a brilliant goal. Number one, Dacky has to be intelligent enough to walk into the 6-yard box and then just walk out again. Number two, Andy Smith, if you watch the coverage, has to be clever enough to block off the one who's trying to get out to Dacky. Number 3, Max Clarke's pass has to be spot on for Dack to be able to hit it first time. And number 4, Dacky has to hit it as well as he did into the top corner. Really, really good goal. Probably a bit harsh on Crawley, if I'm going to be honest. They deserve something from the first half and probably should have been level at worst. Then there was a big referee's call start the second half. Max Clarke ball in, Bradley Dack diving header. Flag goes up. We're not sure why. Dacky's definitely onside looking at the replays. There's been talk that it was Max Clarke that was offside coming back from taking the initial corner. But if that's the case, he can't be offside because it came off a Crawley defender. So, match changing decisions. Not that we knew it at the time. Crawley score a good equaliser. We then get a slightly soft penalty. So maybe the referee and the lino know that they've potentially got the one wrong earlier. I'm not saying that's the case for definite, but you don't know. Robbie McKenzie tucks it away. We then have another couple of chances. Crawley get a deserved equaliser for me. I'm not going to sit here and say Crawley didn't deserve anything from the game. It's frustrating that you've led 1-0 and 2-1. And I think we would have won comfortably if the second goal is allowed. I think at 2-0, we'd have been able to change how we played. But it wasn't. Crawley were good. They're certainly better than 20th. And yeah, Kabongo Shamanga scores a really, really good goal. Good play down the left-hand side. He keeps himself onside. There's a couple of half chances after that. Cut back for us that beat everyone. They chucked a couple of crosses into the box. But yeah, first and foremost, I don't know if anyone else watched it. I don't know if you watched it. It's just a bloody good game and a great advert for lower league football. Yeah,
that's what you want. As I think, as a League Two fan, that you sort of brag about this league and say how good it is, and when it's coverage, that especially at R5 slot, that's not usually there, because obviously the Premier League games are on. It's nice that it's 4 goals and it's good entertaining proper football under the lights. It's brilliant, and some fantastic finishes as well. Like I said, that Crawley goal, well worked, and then yours, that's really well worked. Straight off the training ground, fantastic finish. The offside, I think you've been absolutely done over there, to be honest. I don't see what he's given. It's a big call because, like I say, if you go 2-0 up, it's then a lot harder for Crawley to get back into
it. They have to be more open and take a lot more chances. We can maybe bring on a defensive midfielder and shut up shop and play on the counter. I loved it from an entertainment point of view, and it's great to see a Gills team that plays in games like that, because we haven't for too long, and go toe-to-toe with a team that likes to pass the ball. We're not going to have 70% possession like Crawley. We just don't play that way.
Yeah.
But I think from purely a fan point of view and wanting Gillingham to win and trying to look at it from Gareth Ainsworth's point of view, I think the game was probably a little more open than ideal from our perspective, certainly being at home, but great entertainment.
Do you think Ainsworth's made the difference since coming back in? I know he's still not touchline, but just having him back in the fold, is it still that sort of same?
I asked the question after Newport when we lost in the cup and said, is it a coincidence that him not being there meant we weren't getting results? He's come back. We've won one and drawn one. I'll let other people decide. It's like, I don't want to sound like I'm being disrespectful to Richard Dobson, because I'm not. And I think our performances were all right in that period. But I thought there were I think I said to you before, either on WhatsApp privately or on one of these shows, Gareth Ainsworth's presence can be the difference when games are fine lines. It can get you over the line. He got us over the line against Bristol Rovers. All right, he didn't get us over the line against Crawley Town. But I think primarily it's just a really big boost to everyone having him back. It's weird because you say like an injured player comes back, feels like a new signing. And we've got that. Gareth McCleary, Johnny Smith, both getting minutes. Having Gareth Ainsworth back in the fold on the training pitch, at the ground, before games, in the stands is huge for Gillingham. And I think he will make a difference moving forward. So, yes, I think he has made a difference in a positive sense. And I think we did miss him throughout the winless run. But I don't think Richard Dobson did an awful job. I just think he was unlucky that, we go to MK Dons and we're poor for an hour and then batter them for half an hour. We go to Grimsby, we get stitched up by a referee. Cheltenham, we battered for 95 minutes and end up drawing 1-1. So it's all swings and roundabouts. But yeah, we've got a better chance of being successful now with Gareth back on the touchline.
Yeah, and sometimes you tell why people are assistant managers and why people are managers, because it's that difference for me. I think it's words, like in the changing room, having that presence, and he'll know what to say because he's been a manager for a fair few clubs now. And I think with an assistant manager, it's that step up. He's got to make that step up, and sometimes it might be a little bit out of his comfort zone, where he just likes that assistant role where he can coach and just be that extra, obviously, guidance to Ainsworth. But yeah, when you've got your leader, your manager, it's always a massive boost, especially for players, to have them in there in the changing rooms and then in and around the place. It's got to be a massive boost.
Absolutely, and I compared him, and I might upset some of the Gills fan base, but I compared Richard Dobson to someone like Stephen Clements. Stephen Clements been brilliant as an assistant to Steve Bruce for years, had success at some of the biggest clubs in the country, like Villa and Newcastle to a degree. Didn't work out as a number one. Yeah. And then he went to Barrow. And yes, it's different situations, smaller budgets, I get all that. Didn't work out. Then he goes back to being Steve Bruce's assistant. I know Steve Bruce has since been sacked by Blackpool, but I think some people are just suited to maybe being out of the spotlight a little while and aren't as comfortable being, the man that's got to talk to the press or the man that's got to go and give his reasons why a team's not performed so well in certain games. I think, and it works, doesn't it? You couldn't meet two more polar opposite people than Gareth Ainsworth and Richard Dobson. One's like sort of right out there, loud, big long hair, wild thing nickname. Richard Dobson's complete opposite of that, and that's probably why it works. And I suppose it's like a relationship, really, isn't it? You take half of it away and it becomes a bit more difficult for the other one.
Yeah, of course. Every top manager will say that they need a good assistant. You look at the best managers that's probably been in this bloody country, and Brian Clough, his assistant, were everything to him, and it's like without the two, it don't work type thing, and he'll tell you that himself. You've got your team for a reason, and people that you trust in.
Exactly, because if you didn't need him, he wouldn't employ him. He'd just do it on his own. So yeah, so it certainly comes as a team. There's no way in the modern game you can do it on your own anyway. Right, more comments. Matt says the Crawley man of the match was the linesman. I think he might be referring to that offside decision. Hugh from the Medway's got an interesting take on the offside. Says I think it was offside. Could possibly have been for Robbie. I know it's a huge stretch though, given he wasn't necessarily interfering with. I haven't even looked at Robbie McKenzie, so I'd have to go back and have a look at it again.
Was he the one far right, far over? Your last.
I'm not sure.
That was central. Who was the one that was?
Let me have a look. I think I've still got the clip on my phone. Talk amongst yourselves.
Because I know there's a player that was right over, and he looked. Because that's what I was looking at originally.
I still haven't got it on my phone. I'll have to watch the Sky Sports coverage properly because you can slow it down, pause it better on a TV, and it's a bigger screen. But yeah, maybe go and have a look at that. So I appreciate that one from the view from the Medway. Matt says excellent work goal for Bradley Dack. Yeah, really, really good. I was having a chat with someone on social media Saturday morning about the benefits of playing Bradley Dack, and I just said we're a better team with Bradley Dack in it, and that's the reason why. Troy says yes, we scored a penalty. Robbie McKenzie, yes, we did. Her father didn't like me. Said that Bradley Dack goal was clever, very well executed. We've got a Newport fan in who's new. So C. Willis, it looks like, hi guys, Newport fan is seriously doomed. Yeah, what's your thoughts, mate? I know it's, we don't want to sort of rub your nose in it a little bit because it's a tricky time at the moment, bottom of the league. Something getting cut adrift a little bit from the people outside the relegation places. But you have rolled the dice. So what's your thoughts on who would you like as a new manager, mate? If you can let us know in the comments, that would be really, really good. If anyone thinks who's best suited to Newport, let us know. Give us some names.
They've made the change at the right time. I think if you were going into December, January, I think you sort of start to think, why not? Why was it not done sooner? Because obviously we've talked about Newport and how many games he's got left. So I think if I were a Newport fan, I'd be glad that it's been done now and they've still got that chance.
Gives them 6 weeks to assess the squad as well, doesn't it, before they go into the January window. Like you say, if you do it sort of Boxing Day, he's almost guessing what he needs. So I think it's come at the right time. I think we said at the start of the season, these types of appointments where you go to like academy coaches in the Premier League, there's always that sort of opportunity for a big differential. You look at your Kieran McKenna's that's gone to Ipswich, done an unbelievable job. And you've got Nathan Wood, who went to Salford, did all right for a while, but got sacked. David Hughes has got sacked really quickly. I think they just need someone really. I mean, I can't believe that Michael Flynn's not linked. I know we've sort of said that Flynn's career has been on a downward spiral in terms of his managerial jobs in the last couple of years or so, but just give the fans a boost, wouldn't it? And he knows Newport and he knows what they're all about. I suppose a caveat to that would be Darryl Clarke at Bristol Rovers. It doesn't mean a returning hero comes back and it's a success again, but they certainly need something just to get the mood around the place improved first and foremost, and then go from there while there's still time. Right, what more comments have we got? Yeah, Darren, just on your question about Gareth Ainsworth says, became an X factor for us, seen that in a Gills manager for a while. Yeah, exactly. It's big personality, got the CV to back it up.
I think on that as well, you could see afterwards what it meant to him, but also what it meant to you fans. There's that connection that's there that you've probably not had for the last couple of managers. So I think it's nice to have that connection with your manager, because you can sort of see what he's trying to do, see what he's trying to achieve, and get behind it fully. And obviously, it's nice to see him back in the club after his surgery.
Yeah, and it's a big old scar. I've seen a couple of his post matches, and you can see it's huge. That's not a little operation that he's had. So it's very understandable why he's still taking it easy and staying out of off the touchline at the moment, because it will get heated down there at times during a game, and we don't want anything to happen to him. View from the Medway says supply teacher was Clem. Yeah, I always felt he was maybe just too nice. I think Mark Bonner, you can level that at him a little bit as well. Matt talks about a classic Gills game against Barnet 3-3 in 1991 because that's who we play this weekend. Greg the Fish is back. Lee's favourite YouTube handle.
It is, yeah. Great
was
name.
Never offside. Guessing we got the penalty later on to make up for it because the officials knew they'd made a mistake. Potentially, I've already sort of mentioned that. Dom's disappointed that Newport have kept on, couldn't keep David Hughes on for one more week because they're playing him at the weekend. What else have we got? Oh, here we go. Newport fan C. Willis again has put my personal favourite would be Steve Evans.
Ooh.
But rumour has it we are getting Mark Sampson, a manager with no experience. Why do I know that name?
He's ex-England women's manager, I believe.
He's ex-Lionesses manager, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who left under somewhat of a cloud and potential non-footballing reasons, if I remember correctly. Was succeeded by Phil Neville?
Yeah, that's correct.
Steve Evans is a great shout, to be fair.
Evans will
He'll go in there and he'll ruffle a few feathers and he'll get you playing. It won't be nice and it won't be pretty, but he'll get you results. Yeah, that's a really, really good shout. I know people have their opinions on Steve Evans, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers, I suppose, at the moment, and they need someone that's going to go in there and get results over absolutely everything else.
I mean, where's that Mark Sampson? That's really left field.
Yeah, that's weird. I've not seen him. He's not had a job, has he, since he left the Lionesses?
No.
Yeah, that's that. I don't know. Again, ask C. Willis. Sampson just sounds like a penny pinching exercise to me, mate. I don't know whether you can comment or reply to that question and let us know. He says Hughes was a nice guy, but unfortunately just wasn't the man to take us forward. Yeah, we've already mentioned they're high risk, potentially high reward, them types of appointments. But I think for every Kieran McKenna, you get 2 or 3 that don't work. And Lee, I think you've got an invite here, mate. Booze Bus 20th of December after Tranmere at home. If your calendar is free. Guinness. I didn't have one tonight. I'm not upset him tonight, people.
Yeah. To be fair, I won't feel up to it. I feel absolutely shocking today anyway. I've got the man flu coming back again.
Oh, O'Reilly.
I know. It's this weather, mate.
You need to take some more vitamins, buddy.
I do. To be fair, I'm like
iron. There's iron in Guinness. That's good for you. There you go. It's medicinal. Crack on.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Right. Shall we do Vidi Printer before we look at goals of the week and player of the week?
Yes, mate.
Right, here we go. Bromley 2, Barrow 1. Goals from Marcus Ifill and the late Nicky Kabamba winner sealed the points for Andy Woodman's men. Barrow's goal was scored by Ben Whitfield. That was a decent hit, to be fair, from the edge of the box on 50 minutes, but it was the Ravens who picked up another 3 points, jumped into 5th. They're having a very good season. Fleetwood Town, Swindon Town 1. Ryan Graydon's injury time goal at the end of the first half levelled the scores after Ryan Tafazoli had headed home for Ian Holloway's men. MK Dons in the battle of the playoff teams came out on top against Salford City by 2-0. Goals in injury time at the end of the first half by Nathaniel Mendes-Lang from the spot. And at the end of the second half from Callum Patterson sealed 3 points for the Dons. Notts County Harrogate, we've almost touched on already, didn't we? Finished 1-1. Matt Dennis's 93rd minute penalty equalising after Tom Kersons had put 14-man Harrogate in charge after 34 minutes. Really good point for them. Shrewsbury Town won. Anthony Scully on 51 minutes against Newport County, which put the final nail into the managerial coffin of David Hughes. Tranmere 3, Cheltenham 2. 2 early goals. James Wilson own goal and Joe Ironside after 11 minutes put Rovers in front and in command. But Jordan Thomas and Josh Martin got Cheltenham roaring back. But there are question marks after this goal. Charlie Whittaker's free kick, according to all social media outlets, on 86 minutes, won the game. It's an own goal. I'm not having it any other way. It hits the bar, comes back, it's Joe Dan, goes in. That is not Charlie Whittaker's goal.
Yeah, and it was described, I think, on the Football League highlights as an absolutely fantastic goal. But yeah, I had to flick it back because obviously you listen to commentary, and it was one of them where I was at work and I'm doing my notes for this. So I looked up to see, it could be one of my picks, and yeah, it comes back off the bar, and And yeah, if it wasn't for the defender being there, it'd have been probably scooped up by the keeper or cleared the lines.
Yeah, so an interesting one that is being given to Charlie Whittaker. For me, it's not his goal. And anyway, to finish off, Cambridge United against Barnet and Oldham Athletic against Crewe Alexandra both happened. Unusual for you to pick a 0-0, my friend.
Yeah, it will come in, won't it? I've had a great run. Crewe will find themselves disappointed that they'll not take full points here. Played some good stuff. Oldham did have a couple of chances, but for me, I think Oldham formation were all out of sorts. Played far too narrow. The only way that looked like they were going to score is when they got crosses in from wide areas, and obviously the big man getting on it. They just didn't play any wingers. That just so it was frustrating for Oldham because you could see what we're missing, and Mickey Mellon just couldn't see it. I don't know why he didn't change it because obviously first half they rode the luck and Crewe should have been probably 2-3 up. Had some really good chances, hit the bar, and they hit the post in the second half as well. But yeah, it's my luck will run out. But yeah, I think Oldham will be a little bit more happier with a point after obviously Crewe missing them chances.
But just sort of back to where they were pre-end of the window, aren't they? Where we said they needed a goal scorer because Michael Mellon come in and made a huge difference, and they got the hat trick in the cup a few weeks ago. But I think it's not in. He's got none in his last 6 now in the league, and they're just struggling to score goals again, aren't they? I mean, defensively they're absolutely spot on. They've got the best defensive record in the entire division, but you're not going to be anything more. And I'm talking from experience as ill as where you're not digging out Oldham at all. But if you look at their goals for and against, scored 13 in 16 games. You can have the best defensive record in the league, but you're having to win games 1-0 all the time. Yeah. It becomes difficult. So yeah, but only lost 4 games all season, same as Gills, and Gills are in the playoffs. So again, they're absolutely fine. They will be absolutely fine, but it just feels they need a little bit of. You watch some more of me. It just feels to me though they need like a little bit of stardust in January, just to take them to that next level, just to turn them 0-0s and 1-0s into 2-1s or 1-0 wins.
Yeah, I think a couple had a bit of pace. Just do what they were good at when they got promoted. Get balls in from wide areas. They've got the men that can score them goals. I just don't think he utilises it enough. And I get that Mellon's his son. I think sometimes he doesn't want to bring him off. Whereas like Saturday, I don't think he did enough. For me, I'd have took him off, and then obviously Fondop come on, and I'd probably put Quigley on. He didn't get any minutes. Sometimes I think he protects him because he is his son. He can score goals. Well, sometimes it's not working. Sometimes you got to change it. And I think
didn't they have Ryan Woods missing this week as well, who's been a big player for them. He was suspended, weren't he?
Yeah, he got 2 yellows a week before. So yeah, he'll fit in next week against Newport. The diamond just did not work. He had Payne that it were all out of sorts. He had Caprice as a fullback looking for that outlet to go wide, and there was just nothing there. And I just think that was the only way that Oldham would have beat Crewe is by getting balls into the box, because Crewe aren't a big side, whereas Oldham are. They've got them big, physical, powerful lads that can cause problems. And the 2 chances that he had, the keeper makes a great save just after the second half, and yeah, that was the only way they'd have beaten.
It's almost like Michael Mellon is the polar opposite of the sides that Mickey Mellon builds, isn't it?
Yeah,
and he's a good goal scorer. Don't get me wrong. He had, like I say, he had that brilliant half a season at Morecambe a couple of years ago, and then got a move into League One, which didn't quite work out. But yeah, like you say, you look at their centre halves, Daniels and Month, absolutely huge.
Yeah.
With them in the most respectful way, they're probably, you'd say their midfielders industrious more than anything else. Woods is decent with the ball, but Pett is all right with it. But they're very like workman-like midfielders.
Yeah.
I think he just needs something a little bit different, doesn't it? And I think their lack of goals means he keeps just he's almost trying to, from an outsider, he's trying to stumble upon a partnership or a formation. He's tried Quigley up top. He tried the lad, is it Drummond, with him when we went up there and won 1-0.
Yeah.
He's tried Mellon and Quigley. He's tried Mellon and Fondop. He then tried Mellon and Garner at the weekend. Garner was good a few years ago, but I mean, I think he's probably been on the decline for quite a while now, hasn't he? 37.
Yeah. And Mellon's, we've touched on Mellon before. He's a long game manager. He'll look at the bigger picture of the full season, and he'll probably look at that Crewe game as probably a decent point. He'd have probably marked it down. I believe with Mellon, he probably
depends what the aim is for the season as well, isn't it? If they want to try and get in the top 7, then it's not. But if they want to just make sure they stay up, then yeah, it is a good point.
Yeah.
Dom or Kerry, if you're still in the chat, or any other Oldham fans, what do you think? I'm just something's missing in the final third massively for me at the moment with Oldham. It's almost like if Mellon doesn't score, Oldham don't score, and you don't want to be in a position like that. Back to Newport, C. Willis has said Mark Sampson hasn't managed since 2017. Cheap option, in my opinion. Very left field appointment. Yeah, that's not going to get the fan base on board, is it? I got to say, if that is who it is, Lee, I fear for Newport. I do anyway.
Yeah. The 2017 can't have been the England gig then.
Could it not?
I feel like that feels too soon. That.
Shall we Google it? Shall we Wikipedia it?
Because it was the Eni Aluko thing, wasn't it?
There we go.
That feels too soon.
He was Stevenage caretaker manager in 2019. That was his last job.
Right. I feel like is he managed the women's side as well?
He was sacked from England on the 20th of September 2017 because of what the FA described as clear evidence of inappropriate and unacceptable behaviour by a coach. And then there was an apology issued by the FA later in that year. And then he went to Stevenage as first team coach in July 2019 and was appointed caretaker manager in September after the sacking of Dino Mamria. And then in December, Graham Wesley returned and Sampson dropped back into the role of first team coach. During his oversight, the club played 18 matches, winning 5, drawing 7 and losing 6, and finished 23rd. He remained at the club until departing on 8th November 2021, so he's not been involved in football for 4 years.
Yeah, a long period to be out of football.
And I'm not being funny, aside from the Lioness's job where he did an all right job. There's very little success there, isn't there?
Yeah. I feel like the Lionesses have kicked on after. Even Phil Neville probably did a little bit better job than what he did.
Yeah, I think he did. Luke from MK Dons says, hi, how are we? Yeah, we're good, thank you, mate. Yellow card for being late. Kerry Rimmer says, Matt could narrate grandstand final score with all them goals. Thank you very much. Darren says, am I Shrewsbury, Colue and Fleetwood away? I've got Shrewsbury and Colue tickets so far, Darren. Pretty sure I'll be at Fleetwood. Can't wait for that one. I mean, that ground's cold in August. I'm not sure what it's going to be like 5 days before Christmas. I am sure it's going to be bloody freezing.
At least Coleu's not a far one for you.
No, that was all right. I got lucky with that one because it was a Tuesday, weren't it? It's been moved to the Saturday, same weekend as FA Cup second round because we're both out. Otherwise, I would have missed it. Right. So, Kerry says Oldham massively missed Woods at the weekend and also missing Conlon as well. Yeah, it's a couple of people been out. Dom disagrees with me. He says Garner has been brilliant. Makes himself a nuisance. Only outlet is from out wide. It's like we're scared to play the ball on the ground and trying to go through the middle. How many goals has he scored though? Like, I don't mean that to be horrible. I watched Gillingham strikers work hard at the start of 22, 23, and we scored 6 league goals in 23 football matches. There becomes a point where hard work just doesn't mean anything if you've not got something to show for it at the end, Dom. I don't know. They're a weird one, Oldham, because I think they're a couple of, good attacking players away from being a team that can get in the playoffs.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think they are as well because defensively they're sound. I just think they lack that.
Really sound.
creativity. And I've always said it with Oldham, I think, and just an injection of pace. I think they've always got Drummond that's really got that pace. And
you need productivity with it as well, don't you? That's the thing as
yeah.
well. Yeah, interesting. Like I say, I just think they're a team that there could be again a big differential between which way they go second half of the season, depending on how that window goes and whether they can get Mellon scoring again. German Gills has commented and said, "I'll be seeing my once a season Gills game, Collier at home, 29th of December. Looking forward to it, my friend. Cannot wait to see you in person." Back to Newport. C. Willie says, in my opinion, I think we need 6 or 7 players in January and forward. Then would have to be experienced. We are lacking experience massively, but owner won't change our young transfer policy. Yeah, we came to your place in September and won 3-1, and you've got some really good youngsters. Like Antwi, Camwa, you've got the lad Reindorf on loan. But yeah, it just feels that there's no real experience in the side, and the experienced players that you have got haven't been good enough. Like Nick Zarnev, who was a very good keeper a few years ago, has been really poor. Anyway, right, off the comments at the moment. Oh, we'll just leave this one up. Gary Monk is 8-1 with one bookies for Newport job. There's another blast from the bar. I'm not it for me. I don't know about you, Lee. Of them 3 names, it's Steve Evans all day long in their situation.
Yeah. Gary Monk don't fill me with confidence. Steve Evans all day knows his bread and butter with them divisions, doesn't he? And I think he's eager to get back in. After obviously, I think it was Rotherham. Was it disappointing spell there?
Was his last job, wasn't it? Yeah, and then he's not been in the game for about a year, has he? He's been on this. I don't know if anyone's seen, been on this huge weight loss program as well. Looks in really good nick, to be fair to him. So yeah, he'd be chomping at the bit to get back into the game, I'm sure. And yeah, if it's a choice between them it's an absolute no-brainer. Anyway, should we do your 3 goals of the week, my friend?
Yeah, we shall. So number 3 is Bradley Dack. Could not put him in. Absolutely brilliant finish. Well-worked goal. Corner, straight off the training ground. And the finish is absolutely fantastic as well. And then number 2, Barrow's equaliser, Whitfield, fantastic strike. And then my number 1, Camille Conte, Bristol Rovers, 20-yard strike. What we got? We got level.
I can't believe you've missed what I thought was an absolute no-brainer for number 1.
Go on.
Have you forgot to watch a game? In 3rd place, I've got Kyrie Lisby, Colchester's goal. We love a team goal. I remember you picked Rowan Darcy for Chester at the start of the season. I thought that was really good. Arthur Reed's dancing feet are absolutely sensational. He then gets to Vide away, absolutely batters the right back for pace. Great ball across the box. And I know he'd look stupid if he smashes it over the bar, but Lisby absolutely levers it into the roof of the net from about 4 yards, and it was a great win. Second, I had Bradley Dack. Yeah, great run. We've already mentioned it. Intelligent run, clever play from Smith to block off. Great ball, great finish. My first place was Anthony Scully. Shrewsbury against Newport. It's an absolute belter. Catches an half volley for about 25 yards on the run and smacks it into the top corner.
To be fair, I probably did switch off at that point, yeah.
I just went, I'm not watching Shrewsbury Newport. That will
I probably did, to be fair, yeah.
I thought he's dropped one here. He's had a Christy Pym. Lee's had a Christy Pym.
We always like to pick different anyway, don't we? It's always nice to have a different top 3. I think we've all got...
Yeah, I had Conte as an honourable mention, and also Ben Whitfield was really good as well, yeah. So do you want me to go first, or do you want to do your player of the weekend?
So Samson Tavide for Colchester scored, and then that assist was absolutely brilliant. It's just a striker's dream. That cross low and hard, and yeah, he's done the work for him, and he absolutely levers it home, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's a proper good finish, really good performance. And I've said, like all season, they've got some exciting forward players, haven't they? Him, we've already mentioned them, and Bick, Lisby, Anderson. And this was without Jack Payne as well.
Yeah. Is he injured?
I think he is, yeah. I think he's missed the last couple. So, yeah, they get him back, and if they can find a bit of consistency, I still think they've got a chance. But, yeah, just looking at Tavide's stats, 1 shot on target, that went in. Pass completion rate was only 58%, but he did have One of them was a key pass and one was an assist. And he does his defensive work as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So, a couple of ball recoveries as well. But the main thing is just them attacking stats was just a really, really good performance. I'm going to get accused of being biased because I've gone for a Gillingham player for the second week in a row. And I've gone for Max Clarke. Thought he was, in a game that was very attack heavy, I thought he was really solid defensively up against some tricky wide players that Crawley had. He won 60% of his tackles and 89% of his duels and also completed 6 clearances. And then going the other way, his delivery. I have never seen, and I've been looking at this app for a long time, cross completion rate, 7 out of 9, 78% of his crosses hit a Gillingham player, which is absolutely phenomenal at this level. Completed 5 key passes. He set up the first goal. He won the penalty, which I think is an assist. I think we've chatted about this before. If you don't win the penalty, then you don't get a chance to score a goal. So for me, it's an assist. Should have had a third. Should have had a hat-trick of assists because Bradley Dack's goal should have stood. And he created other chances as well. I think Sandgal's header come from his cross. Obviously plays a big part in the goal. So, my player of the week was Gillingham's Max Clarke. We shall do a couple more comments and then I shall find the League 2 table. Oh, that was one of the youngsters I was trying to think about. Yes, sorry. We have a midfielder on loan from Leicester called Sammy Braybook. He's been our best player by far. He's the only one who seems to care, and he goes back to Leicester in January. And that's the risk, isn't it, with league loan players, is that if the team you're on loan to aren't playing well or you're playing well, the chances are you get taken back and then moved somewhere else in the football pyramid. Right, a couple more comments. Anthony Scully's goal was the second best I saw from an Irish player at the weekend. It was an absolute banger. Troy Parrott's winger. Oh, have you seen the scenes in the away end? That was unbelievable. Yeah, I've seen a few people putting that on Instagram. I know Conor Masterson, our defender, was putting that up, and John Egan, former Gills centre half. What a performance! So they was basically done and dusted by Thursday, weren't they? And then beat Portugal 2-0, and then had to go to Hungary and win to get into the playoffs. That's a phenomenal effort, and we all know, certainly from a fan perspective, football tournaments in the summer are better if there's Irish fans there, and it'd be brilliant to see them at the World Cup.
Fair, I get that people don't want to say. I'd love all the own nations there, if I'm honest. I just think it makes it a better tournament. Obviously, this World Cup, there's more teams in it anyway. I think Scotland need to win tomorrow night at home to Denmark, which is not easy. Denmark are a decent outfit. Mm-hmm. So it'd be brilliant. I don't know what Wales still win a sniff. I know they've got the banker of the playoffs, I think, because they did well in
Scotland lost, but then Greece lost as well, so they've still got half a chance as well, haven't they? Yeah. So it's win-win, isn't it? Because if we get them and they do well, you can say it's good for the game, and if we get to the World Cup and we beat them, we can take the mickey out of their fans. So it's all fun and games. But as long as it's all good natures and light-hearted, then there's no harm in it at all anyway. Right, let's have a look at the league table, my friend, before we start blowing full-time on this one. There she is. Let me get rid of that last comment. And then we've got a couple of messages for you, mate, because apparently something's happening this week, sorry. Right. I've lost this comment. Where's it gone? Oh, there we go. No, it's not that one. There we go. Right. Newport currently sit 24th, 11 points from 16 games and in danger of getting cut adrift. 23rd, Cheltenham dropped back in. They've got 14 points from the same amount of games. In fact, everybody's played 16. That makes it easier. And then it's Harrogate, Shrewsbury and Crawley Town making up the bottom 5. Just above them, we've got Bristol Rovers, Accrington on 17 points. Another pair of teams on 19, Barrow and Tranmere Rovers. Oldham sit 15th. Colchester up to 14th on 21 points. And Fleetwood top the bottom half at the moment. We then move into the top 12. Cambridge, Barnet, Grimsby, Salford, Crewe go from 12th to 8th. And then the playoff comprises of Gills, Chesterfield, Bromley and Notts County. And it's MK Dons, Walsall, and new league leaders Swindon Town, who top the table on 30 points now after their draw at Fleetwood and Walsall's defeat at home to Colchester. We keep saying it's taking shape, but it's just in them little sections. It just looks like it's going to keep changing all the time, which is what keeps it exciting, isn't it, mate?
It is, yeah. You look at Salford. I mean, they were second at one point. They're now
Well, they're
down
second or
to
third a
9.
couple of weeks ago, yeah. And they win and they jump back in again. It's nuts.
Yeah, and that's what's brilliant about it. Like I say, even in them mid-table sections, you got Oldham, you got Colchester, Fleetwood, all put a good run together, and you're right in the picture.
Absolutely. And like you say, if it goes the other way, you end up like Bristol Rovers. You go from just outside the playoffs to in a relegation battle in a matter of a month, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. Before we say full time, before you sign off, I had it all planned. I had little notes to say good luck to you, but people have beat me to it, which is great. Before you sign off, all the best for Thursday, Lee. Hope you have a belted night and come away with the goods. Absolutely. Cannot reiterate that point enough. Jonathan Harries is in the chat late, but we'll let him off because he's really nice. Good luck, Thursday, Lee. Not that you need it, mate. Yeah, absolutely agree with that one. And yeah, what can I say? Lee will be representing all the lower leagues at the FCAs on Thursday evening at the finals. I'm sure you all voted for him. I did. Yeah, up for 3 awards, is it, mate?
It is, mate, yeah. 3 awards.
And I think more importantly as well, and I don't know if Lee's going to allow me to say this, but more importantly is him and his good lady, Deborah, are going to have a really good night regardless of what happens, because I don't know how much you've shared, mate, but if you want to share an update, it's up to you. But yeah, I'm just so happy the news that you gave me regarding her and the fact that you can enjoy this and enjoy the run up to Christmas now.
Yeah, a little bit of a positive meeting at the hospital that we can sort of look through Christmas and obviously that monitor the situation. I'm not getting too giddy about it because he always slaps you back, but it's positive because we can sort of, especially for Deborah, that's what I'm bothered about. She can sort of put it to one side for a little bit, and like I said, Thursday we're just gonna have a nice night away. Don't matter the outcome, but I'm already winner. I've got votes from you, amazing lot, and it's just nice to have these little nights away.
He wants to win, really, but there are bigger things. Of course, we all want you to win, mate. We're all rooting for you, absolutely. Right, an hour and 7 minutes again. It's been really good. Really enjoyed this one. As always, he's Lee. I'm Matt. This has been the League 2 Hour.